Hey everyone, it's Tammy with Beaded Wind Socks. When I'm not beading, I'm crocheting. When I'm not crocheting, I am beading. I have a small announcement. I have finished objects, works in progress, an acquisition from last week, and some happy mail that I received yesterday, and I wanted to wait until today to open it. Okay? And we'll go ahead and we'll get started. This is not my announcement, but I had noticed from other podcasters that I do watch that it was it was described very well that there's a lot of negativity going around in both YouTube and the crochet world, and the best thing to do is just be kind to each other. Simply put, we all need each other. We all rely on each other. We need new friends that are outside our norm. So, in the future and always, just try to be kind to each other and let positivity flow instead of negativity. Okay? All right. In my first podcast, I told you I am a pajama girl, which I am. However, later today we're going out, so I decided I'm going to go ahead and let you guys see me in some real clothes for a change. All right. This is a t-shirt that I got from my daughter from the air show last year. She was very generous to get us t-shirts. And the interesting thing is that no two t-shirts were the same color. It was quite interesting and all. Okay, so and she's with the A10C Thunderbolt demonstration team, and currently they are in Mexico. And when their show is done for the weekend, they'll be off to their next base for the next air show. So she's having a lot of fun with that. Okay, finished objects, and excuse me when I drop out of the screen and so forth. I apologize for that. I've got everything kind of situated so I can go through it and then just put it in its location until I can clean up afterwards. Okay, so bear with me with that. The first finished object is a prayer cloth, and this pattern is from Sach. And she made up a whole bunch of them and tied them into a blanket. And in her chat yesterday on Facebook, which she then uploaded to YouTube, she was putting a border on the blanket. And she's got all kinds of different solid colors, excuse me, in her blanket that she made. And it's not a very big blanket. It's a small blanket, like a baby blanket. And it came out really nice when she had done that. And I used variegated to see how it would come out. And it looks like it came out pretty good, because you can still see the bobbles in there for the cross, which is nice. So I'm pleased with that. I'm going to be making some more of these and then handing them out to some friends. They all sound like they could use something to hold on to while they say their prayers and all, or just thank God that things aren't worse, that kind of thing. So, but I'm going to try and make some solids and not send out the variegated unless someone says, I want one. Okay, so we'll go from there. All right. Next is the Rising Tide Shawl. I finished this up Monday last week, and I have to say that it came out nice. It did come out nice. Okay. And I also learned a lesson of one tip suggestion from Jess Coppola, who designed this, that you need to have a stitch marker on the increased side. As you get further and further in, I was starting to forget which side was which and had to closely look at it. Okay, that's my increased side. Okay, that's my straight side. So that little stitch marker to indicate which side is the increased side does in fact come in very handy. And I do suggest that if you're going to do this one, use that stitch marker suggestion. It does help. This color here is this right here. And it is in the color Blossom. Now, Jess used ice cream yarn from Lion Brand. And to me, this looks like ice cream. So I went with it. There are 100 rows of puff stitches, including back here on the end. And that's a lot of puff stitches. But at least it was mindless. That was a good thing for me, having a little one to take care of and all. Then when I got to the waves, I waited until morning, and then that way I could focus on them to make sure I was doing them right on the ends. I mean, in the middle, it's one thing. You know, you can just go. But I wanted to make sure that my ends were being done right. Okay? And this color is Mandala Fairy on the end. And that's what she used. She used ice cream from Lion Brand. And then she put Mandala Wishing Well on the end of hers, so that it had those blues that ran through to make the waves and all. So there's 100 rows of puff stitches, and then there's 8 rows of waves. Okay, and it came out nice. This one I'm going to take just a little bit of time to refold here. Oh, there it is. Okay, because of its size. It is very big. And then it drops out. Okay. Just put it aside and take care of it later. Alright. Next up was from an acquisition I got on Friday from a friend. She gave me 6 skeins of Purple Passion. Okay. So I'll find something to do with 6 skeins of Purple Passion. Alright. Okay. And she also gave me a cake, excuse me, of this. And I found that I didn't have quite enough yardage for this pattern. I got the pattern from Nicole, and it's called All of the Trebles by Alison Henshaw. Let me double check. Yes. And it is a free download pattern on Ravelry. However, the pattern does not tell you how much yarn you need, unfortunately. And by the time I got done with the cake that I had, it's not quite long enough. At least not for me. It's not quite long enough for me. I tried to reach the designer by email, by Ravelry Messenger, by Facebook even. Everything's gone. There's nothing there. So I went back to my friend Nicole and asked her, do you know how much yardage that shawl that you did needs? And she came back and told me that she used Lion Brand's Shawl in a Cake. So I looked it up. Lion Brand's Shawl in a Cake is approximately 461 yards in the cake. And the label says it's a 4, but a review says it's more of a 3. And looking at the shawl again in the picture, it does indeed look like she used the same thing, that she used Lion Brand Shawl in a Cake or something equivalent to it from a time ago. I'm not sure when the pattern came out, but I was searching to see how much yardage was needed, and on one of her other pages that showed the projects that she's done, I found it there, and it's 437 yards is needed for the shawl, and 355 was not enough. So, what I'm thinking of doing is hanging on to this for an oversized triangle scarf. See, it may be open and breezy, but at least it would still have airflow going through it and so forth, okay? Or I'm thinking I might be kind enough at Christmas and let the little one have it. Because she liked, as soon as she saw it, she liked it. She says, Mom, that came out great. So I don't know. I have to decide at this point. What I did do was check some other yarns that I already have here. And I decided what I'm going to do is go ahead and get 2 skeins of another yarn that are ombre, that are Red Heart Super Saver, and go ahead and remake this at a little bit later date using the purple or the violet ombre instead, and go from there and see if I can't get it as long as I would like at this point, or find something that's more of a 3-weight that would work, so I have something around here that I can wear without getting overly hot. Okay, so it is a free download on Ravelry, but I cannot get in touch with the designer, so it's like, okay, just have to kind of wing it at this point. So, all right, that's that one. I've been on a shawl kick lately. I don't know why. I usually don't, but I am this time. Okay, next for work in progress. Next are works in progress. Sorry. Okay. First off is Sara Sach's Grandtastic blanket for the year. And I'm doing up this blanket. This is block 4. I did it yesterday in under 2 hours, 3 hours, with a little bit of interruption and all. But I'm taking her blanket idea, excuse me, of 4 blocks per month and kicked it up a notch to 4 colors for each block, so I can make 4 smaller blankets once these are put together. And yesterday's block, or the month of April's block, is Granny in the Corner, and this is how it turned out. And this is my turquoise. This is my lavender. This is my sage. And this is my baby blue. So those 4 are done and are ready to go in the bag with the rest of them for January, February, March to be put aside. And she did say that when you make this one, it will come out just a little wonky, but put it on your blocking board and it will straighten out. And I need to get some blocking mats. I don't have those yet, but I need to get some blocking mats. Okay, so it's intriguing how the squares transition around and how they're going to get more difficult by the time December comes around. So it'll be interesting to, see the rest of the squares for the year. So it will be nice. Okay, this one here is Holly Miller's from the Proper Pineapple shawl, birthday shawl. And I ran into a little bit of a snag with my colors. When I saw the Clue 4 for this, I found that I did not have enough of this color to finish it. And this is Bernat 3-weight Baby Sport in Mint. I don't have enough to do the section in Clue 4. So if I'm going to be able to get this done and get it posted to her Ravelry finished objects page, I'm going to have to break down and go to a much lighter green than I was given. If I'm going to finish it, to get it onto Holly's finished object thread. It's not that I want to, it's that that's what I need to do. Because my store has not, my Walmart store has not carried this shade of the Bernat Baby Sport in Mint. At least I haven't seen it on the shelf in almost 3 or 4 weeks. And what a time to no longer carry it, or I would like to have known. But I really like this green because it stands out a little more like a field. So I don't know. If you guys will go ahead and leave me an opinion in the comments, it'll help. It'll help to go from there to see if what you think. Okay, it'll help me to see what you think. All right. So positive comments. Positive comments. Okay. All right. I did the acquisitions. Okay. I did a small yarn haul that Friday also. So getting back to this, sorry, jumped ahead. It comes out nice and all, and Clue 4 really finishes up nicely, but like I said, I don't have enough of this green. I really don't. Okay, sorry. That's the dog. Cass, hush, please. So as soon as I read some of the comments, then I'll go from there as to try and find the color first and then finish it, and not worry about posting it to Holly's thread or use the other green. So I am looking for feedback on that. Cass, hush. Quiet. Sorry, he hears a vehicle outside and he's barking at it. Okay. Some yarns that I got. Okay. I went back to Walmart last Friday and I picked up Comfy Cotton Blend in Sugarcane. And I picked up Mandala, or Mandala, however it's pronounced, Ombre in Mantra. Excuse me. And the only thing is that they only had one left on the shelf. And I need 2. So I'm going back. There's an appointment today. I'm going back to see if I can't find one more of these. One more in Mantra for the project that I have in mind. Okay. I also picked up, like I said, excuse me, Red Heart Super Saver Ombre in Sea Coral to go with Red Heart Super Saver in True Blue. These two are going to be put together to make the Cakes 2 to Tango shawl. Holly from the Proper Pineapple made this shawl using 2 cakes of mandala. And she had started to explain that she didn't like how it was coming out, but she went ahead and trudged through to the end. And when she got to the end of the project, she saw how the colors worked out and she kept it. She liked how it actually did turn out. Our local university up here is the Boise State Broncos, and the colors are orange and blue, and that's why I'm going to try this shawl with these two colors. Okay? All right. I started last night on a project that will take the 2 cakes of the cool. Is this? Yeah, the cool that I picked up the week before. Okay. And the project I'm doing is that 1 panel purse that's a rectangle, and then it's sewn together in a unique way to make the bag. And I got the pattern suggestion from Joanna of Joe's WIP. And it's in broadcast number 3, I believe. Okay. And I looked it up to see how much yarn I needed. I need approximately 600 yards, so my 2 cakes will work for that. And on Tuesday, a viewer in the chat with Sara asked the difference between the mandala ombre and the Super Saver ombre. So I'm going to see if I can't find her and let her know to watch this podcast film. But the best way to describe these is that the Red Heart Super Saver ombre is the equivalent to regular Super Saver yarn. It's acrylic and it's got all the same feels and all. However, when it comes to the mandala ombre, the best way to describe it when working with it is that it's like working with fleece. It also is 100% acrylic, but it is so soft it feels like fleece. It's nice. There is a little bit of stretch in it, which I think is okay, but it is extremely, extremely soft. It really is. So that is my opinion of the 2 yarns, and I'll be working with both yarns at the same time. So I thought, well, since I'm going to be doing the 1 bag and the 1 shawl, I can give a short review here on the podcast and then let her know to watch the podcast, and she'll hear my opinion on it. But it is so soft when working with it. It's like working with strips of fleece. It really is. It's that nice. So I'm quite happy with how soft this is. So if you wanted to make a baby blanket, a scarf, a shawl, it doesn't matter. This is so soft, you're going to fall in love with it. And hopefully, with all of the reviews that Lion Brand gets regarding their ombre, hopefully we can get them to make some bigger cakes. Yes. Okay. I think that is all. Oh, I also have some shout outs before I get to the Happy Mail. Sorry about that. Okay. The shout outs this podcast go out to Rose of Rose Likes Crochet. She likes doing the shawls also. She just recently did a virus shawl and she has so much fun doing it. She's also going to plan to make another one. Knock yourself out, Rose. Like I said, mine's in the naughty corner because I count those arches and the stitches and I'm doing fine, so I just go ahead and I keep going. When I make the turn to come back, I find somewhere along the line that I did not count that I missed a stitch and I've got to go back and rip it out. And that's why it's in the naughty corner. Because sometimes it's just a short frogging. Other times it's a frog and then a frog. So it's 2 complete rows that I've had to take out to go back and do. So that's why it's in the naughty corner. Okay. Let's see here. Brenda of My Pugiful Life. She's a sweet gal. She has a Zoom meeting that starts tomorrow, 11 o'clock Central Time for her. For me, it's 10. And she's changed her platform for her Zoom meetings that if you don't like your microphone muted by somebody else, it's not the Zoom chat for you then. Due to some things that were going on, she went ahead and she changed her platform. And in all essence, it's actually a smoother chat. There's not everyone talking over one another all at once and so forth. So a lot of things get misunderstood, misconstrued. However you want to describe it, it's a much smoother meeting place than the chaos of a number of women all talking at once. Okay, sorry, but Rose from Nonna's Stitching Lounge. She just did a 3-part video comparison between hobium yarn and ice yarns. And if you're wondering about those 2 yarns, go check out those that 3-part review, because it's going to be very, very informative. She did a good job on it. And Rose of Nonna's Stitching Lounge is from Toronto, I believe, or at least from Canada. So she's a fun lady to listen to also. Next up is Carla of Crochet CJ. She's one like me who thinks of other people, prays for them and all. She's a sweetheart in her own right, and she does not do giveaways. She instead surprises people with Happy Mail. And I thought that was a nice gesture there. That instead of having giveaways and waiting for someone to contact you back, who apparently is not going to. As a matter of fact, Rose of Rose Likes Crochet recently had a giveaway, and she had to draw a 3rd name for that giveaway because no one has contacted her to collect it. And like Carla, instead of the giveaways, she just rather just pick a random name that she has among her friends and send it to them. And I think that's a nice gesture. So you go, Carla. Okay. And then Joanna of Joe's Web. As I said, she introduced me to the pattern for the bag. And it's you just make the panel, and it's 1:3 is the ratio. And then it's sewn together in a unique way, almost like Japanese origami type thing. And that's why it only takes 1 panel. A lot of the origamis, they only take 1 piece of paper. That's the process behind this bag. She has a rabbit that she makes, and she's recently been putting in new variations like a unicorn, a pig, an elephant, and they are coming out an absolute riot. They look like so much fun. They really are. And eventually I'll get around to making a couple of those rabbits and seeing how well they sell at the craft fair in September. Don't know if I can get enough of them made, but it will be a challenge to see if I can get at least 3 made and see how it goes, because we have so many people that come in and out of our craft fair that some of them are up there already knowing what they want to stop and get, and others just mill around and mill around and mill around, and then they go ahead and leave. So, and most actually come up for the raffle giveaways, and you have to be present to win those. They're not going to hang on to those prizes anymore, because we had several of them a couple years ago where they were still there 3 months later. The prizes that were won, the people were called and notified and told that they had won this, and the prize was still there 3 months later. One of them was there so long that the gift certificate actually expired. So we had to tear it up and toss it. And they decided after that, if you're not here to collect this, then we're going to have to draw another name or another ticket. That's all there was to it. And it's understandable for that. Okay. All right. And lastly is Kristi of Kristi's Corner Booth. She helps with Kayla with the yarn bingo and Kayla's yarn swaps that she's having over the year. She's a sweet gal. I haven't seen her doing a lot of crocheting except when she's in Zoom chats and all, but she's a sweetheart as well. I like her, and especially Llama Mama, which I guess is number 7 this time. I'm sorry. And Llama Mama right now is experiencing some pretty severe flooding down in the Louisiana area. And she's had to evacuate. And Llama Mama, I hope everything is going okay. I hope that the waters recede soon so that you can get back into your home and see if there's any damage. I'm hoping that there isn't. I'm praying that there isn't. And just let everyone know how you're doing, and we are thinking about you. Okay, girl? We are thinking about you. Okay, that is it for the shout-outs. And like I said, I was only supposed to do 6, but in light of what's going on, that was number 7. Okay, and I will now open up the Happy Mail. This Happy Mail comes from Linda Parrish from Michigan. Thank you, Linda. And we'll go ahead and get this opened. And I also noticed that it's already got an open spot on the bottom. All right, so I'll open it from there. I'll open it from there. Dum-de-dum. And we'll open it. Ooh, there's something in there. Ooh, pretty. Very pretty. Okay. Oh, that is perfect. Thank you, Linda. One of the blocks on the Yarn Bingo hosted by Llama Mama was make a yarny friend, or send a make a yarny friend by mail. And Linda has been kind enough to send me an absolutely gorgeous little stitch marker. I'll show it in a minute. I don't think that she'll mind because it seems pretty basic. Hope you're having as much fun as I have been with this bingo square. I love crochet, but this has been a blast too. So yes, the yarn bingo is an absolute blast by Llama Mama, and she posts a new bingo card every month. She'll go through the squares with you once the bingo card's available. She'll walk you through each square as to a breakdown of how it works, what you need to do. But one thing very specific is it is one block, one project. So there's 25 blocks, actually 24 if you don't include the free space. So during the month, you're actually doing 24 projects, or like this, making a yarny friend. So therefore, it's not basically a project, but it's something fun to do. And Linda was kind enough to send me that. Thank you so much, Linda. I love it. I absolutely love it. Thank you. Okay, that is going with the rest of my stitch markers. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that it's red and purple. I love that it's red and purple. At one time, I was with the Red Hat Society, and following my heart attack, I was not able to do anything for at least a year during the recovery. And when I went back to go ahead and get my membership renewed, the next thing that happened was I fractured my wrist, so I kind of had to put Red Hat Society on the back burner for quite some time. But my heart still goes towards Red Heart from time, or Red Hat, excuse me. My heart still goes out to Red Hat from time to time. And this little stitch marker with the red tress and the purple stash, it's perfect. I thank you very much, Linda. Okay, that is all that I have on this podcast. I have covered everything. One more announcement. Our temperatures here are finally getting warm enough that it's not getting below 40 degrees at night. So, in the next couple of weeks, the beaded wind socks will be coming out of storage. And when they do, they will be hung up, and I will do a short video and I will show them to everybody. So hold on to your seats and all. They are coming. They are coming, at least in the next couple of weeks. And when they do, everyone will get to see them outside doing their thing. Hopefully there will be just enough of a breeze to get them to twist. But even if not, it's just a matter of catching that breeze at the right angle for them to rotate on their own. So they are coming, okay? That's it for this podcast. Excuse me again. I will go ahead and wrap up and let everyone go. Have a good week. And I hope everyone had a good Easter as well. So take care, everyone. And remember, just be kind. That's all you've got to do. And most importantly, if you want to ask me anything, just do that. Just ask. Okay? Everyone have a good week. Bye-bye.